everyone. Welcome to College for the Culture, a place for us to learn and thrive. I'm back again with another episode. Happy Black History Month to all the beautiful Black people listening right now. And of course, I always say this, but it's an all year thing. We're always going to, oh my God, my mic is tripping. We're always going to celebrate Black history all year round. But yeah, let's just recognize the beauty of Blackness and learn more and honor our ancestors and the contributions they've made to this world. So I hope y'all take February to do that. And if you're not Black, I hope you learn something new. Listen to your Black friends, your Black people, and learn something new about them or about their ancestry and all that. So today we're going to talk about being a Black student in a PWI or a predominantly white institution. I've been wanting to do this episode for a long time. I went to a PWI in high school. I'm not in one anymore. I think it's pretty obvious why I don't want to be in one anymore. But I know that there's many students, Black students out there in PWIs or looking into them. And I think it's really important to highlight the Black experience, Black experiences in them, as there's not many. And yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. Keep in mind that everyone talking today is their own personal experience. We're not trying to define the Black experience as a whole because Black people are not a monolith. We are all different. So everyone's going to have a different experience in their school. So keep that in mind. All right. So to talk about their Black experiences, I have four amazing Black students with me today. So can each of y'all introduce yourselves, say your name, your pronoun, and what school you go to?
Hi, my name is Rita. My pronouns are she, her, and I go to Pace University.
Hi, my name is Carla. My pronouns are she, they. I go to Pace University.
Hey, my name's Malaika. My pronouns are also she, they, and I also go to Pace University.
What's up? My name is Kwame. My pronouns are he, him, and I go to Georgia State University.
Thank y'all so much. I'm excited to talk with y'all today. I've never met them before. This is like Instagram people I'm meeting right now. So I'm super excited to always meet new people. So let's have this chat. So first of all, I just wanted to ask, when you were seniors in high school applying to colleges and you got accepted to where you are now, what made you decide to go to your college in the first place?
Well, for me, with Pace specifically, it was because of my major. So I'm an acting major, and with the performing arts program, that's really what drew me into the school. Because I knew going into it, it was like going to be a PWI and was probably going to come with what PWIs come with. But at the end of the day, it really came down to the structure of the acting program here, for me at least.
I didn't get into NYU. I'm gonna just say that. Yeah, this was my next New York school, and I was like, well, didn't get into NYU, didn't get into Fordham. Pace? Yeah.
Not Pace question mark.
It still Pace question mark.
It's still Pace question mark.
I definitely felt that. I also didn't get into NYU, but I wanted to study like entertainment business, which is what Pace offered, and it's like one of the few schools that have it. But I switched to music business, so I transferred down here to Georgia State. But yeah, that's why I went to Pace originally.
Yeah, I had a similar experience to Malaika and also Kwame in a way, where originally I wanted to go for the PPA program, Pace Performing Arts, because they were known for that. I think compared to other theater programs, Pace did have the most diverse program, which kind of led me more drawn to them. And like they also had the arts and entertainment management business major. So I was like, if I don't get into for theater, then I'll go for that. And then Pace was it.
Honestly, that's That's real. I mean, I don't know why people make it seem like on Instagram or YouTube, like, oh my gosh, I just had a gut feeling that this is the place for me. Like, I just kept dreaming about it every night and I just knew that this is going to be my home. No, it's not always like that. And that's okay. Sometimes it's just they got my major, they're really good at it. It's fine. Sometimes, oh, this was my second option, my third option. As long as you get that education and you're comfortable, it's all good. Oh, Carla, do you want to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say fourth
Oh,
option.
And for me, it was location as well with being in New York. I'm from the Midwest and it doesn't make me happy. So when just when I was in high school, I knew I didn't want to go to anywhere. Like I didn't apply for any in-state schools. And then I only applied for like 2 schools in the Midwest. I sort of knew I wanted to go somewhere more interesting.
Wanted to escape. I feel that. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So next question, as a Black student at your college, how is it like socially, like making friends or even like developing intimate relationships?
I made a group chat with all the Black people, most of the Black people at Pace. Cause like I was like, I can't go to this PWI and not know the Black people. And I was like, there's really gonna be a handful, so I can just make this group chat. So I spent like 2 days going on like Pace 2025. No, what year did we graduate? Pace 2023. And like scrolling, I'm like, swipe, wait, Black, follow, add to group chat, like for 2 days straight, to the point where we had like an Instagram full of like just Black people that were going to Pace that year. And then yeah, that's where I met some of these lovely people. Yeah, I was gonna come unprepared.
You're doing the Lord's work. I feel like everyone thinks of doing that, but not a lot of people have like the balls to actually do it. So you're doing the Lord's work right now. Like I would be your bestie right away if I was at your school.
Thank you.
Did anyone else have anything similar or different?
Yeah, I got added to the group chat and, and then I met all the Black people that Carla introduced me to.
We used to walk in the hallway in like a pack.
Like
Just
30 deep. It was kind of crazy.
Oh, wow. That's honestly so cool. That's actually very iconic.
little HBCU and the PWI.
Yeah, y'all made it work.
We had our own little room, what is it called? The Setter Lounge. We came in, everybody left.
Anytime we come to the lounge in our school and we would come in and be so many of us and people would just leave and then it would just be us.
So y'all just took over. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to command your space at like a PWI and find those people like Carla who are just so extroverted that they'll like kind of lead or like take the risk of looking a little crazy and adding a bunch of people. But it's essential to like at least try, because if not, there I feel like there were a couple of stragglers that we didn't get in the group, and every now and then we'd be like, damn, I want to talk to you, like, and then eventually you meet them and you're like, okay.
Or it's like, oh my God, you go here too? Are you new? No. What do you mean you're not new?
Yeah, because you won't see them like at all.
That's the most embarrassing. Because with the most confidence, I'll be like, "You're a freshman, right? Because I've never seen you." Transfer because we met so many. Like it felt like we met all the Black people in our class, at least freshman year, just based off of like the iMessage group chats and the Instagram group chats. Like it was a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say I was one of the stragglers a little bit. I was part of the group chat in the beginning, but then they started this rule where if you don't respond back enough, they're gonna kick you out. So,
y'all have rules in the group chat? What?
There were people asking to come in and it was at full capacity and it was people who hadn't spoken in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a VIP list.
Yeah. That's crazy. Who made them rules?
I don't know, you know.
I made the rules.
But that shows how essential it is, though, that people were like waiting, like it was a club exclusive to meet the Black people.
People were in my DMs. Can I get in the Black group? I don't know, girl. I got to see it. Let me make it work. Let me know. Like, that was so much. Like, I had too much power. Fresh out of senior year. walking around the halls. Hey,
Wow.
Carla. Hey. Everybody knew me.
Period. Okay. Well, I do want to add a follow up with that. Like, in terms of like romance at your school, was it like, have you had a good time, bad time, no action at all? It's okay if you haven't had anything as a Black student.
The
I know
silence
Pace was
is so
barren.
loud.
Pace was a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was, is,
Yeah,
present.
yeah.
Yo soy.
Not a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
And if we start to, have a little too much fun, we're gonna start crossing paths. And that's gonna be a little messy because it's just not a lot of options.
Yeah.
30 of us and we're all friends. It's like, what am I going to do? We hang out every night. If anything crazy happens, I don't got no friend no more. Like,
oh,
Right.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. We got the whole city. Might as well branch out.
yeah.
Brooklyn's right there.
Right.
That as well. Y'all are in like New York City. You have options. You don't have to like really keep it in the family necessarily.
Yeah. And you're in Atlanta, you got options.
That's true. I mean, down here, I was gonna say because my school isn't predominantly white. We're technically predominantly Black, but I don't think we are. I think like my school is so diverse that it's like enough of us. But yeah, when it comes to like maybe like majors and programs, it can get more predominantly white. But definitely dating here is a much different game than I remember it being at Pace because it was rough.
I have the same experience, so it's okay. It's okay. Enjoy your single season while you're in it. I think that's what I'll say. I think my next question, a little heavy, but did you find it difficult navigating like a predominantly white environment? Were there any struggles that you've experienced while you were there, despite the Black group being there?
Well, I can definitely say from starting off like my college experience from being in more predominantly white spaces, I started off kind of becoming friends with people like on my floor. Like there was a whole community where everybody was in everybody's room, just kind of going in and out. Like we all were really close. And I feel like being in that space, I really started to understand, yes, I went to like PWIs all the way growing up through grade school, but I was with a very diverse group of friends, so I didn't really feel like so immersed in the white community, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And when I was on my floor, there was one person really in particular who did like to start conversations regarding race, and often it was from a very white male's perspective. And it came to the point where I was like, I believe I was one of a couple of Black people on the floor, and I was often the only one in that conversation where non-white people kind of had, or non-Black people, my bad, they felt more comfortable in saying their feelings. And often when I'm like, hey, like, you probably shouldn't say that, like, and trying to explain the whole situation around a topic and like the reasons why the situation is like that, I was often met with like that type of, I was often met with like a little bit of combativeness. I can't think of the right word, but just like the thing of like, oh, I'm not racist, but I feel like this. I feel like slavery, I shouldn't feel bad for it. That's just an example that was said to me once. And I was like, oh, you probably shouldn't say that. But it kind of became a thing of, no, I should. And I was like, oh, okay, let me go. So yeah, I definitely say it wasn't the best experience, but I'm glad to be in a community more connected to the Black community at Pace now, so I don't have to experience that.
Just to say, if anyone says I'm not racist, but you just know that's not gonna end well. That's not gonna end well. Anyone else want to share?
We we had a really interesting freshman year. Um, and that's why it's good to have your Black friends and to have your group, because they were really testing us and our and our spirits. Um, we just all got written up this one time by an RA our freshman year because there were too many of us in a room, which we didn't know was a rule at first, but we were like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then we all got these like notifications that we like had like a hearing and stuff, but everyone in the room was Black or brown, and the only person who didn't get written up was the one white guy we would hang out with. He was the only guy who didn't get written up. And then we go to the hearing, and the RA also lied on the report about like what time we were at somewhere, because one of our other friends had a timestamp picture of us somewhere else at the time where he said we were there. So we had this whole meeting with them, and they basically like, oh, we're going to write you up anyway and change the report. And I'm like, oh, okay. You can't do that. And eventually they decided not to. But even just stuff like that, your freshman year, when you're just trying to like get into the groove of like school and life and just like yourself, and still having to deal with like a system like housing, the people who are putting a roof over your head coming at you like that, it's just like this extra stress that I think a lot of other students don't even realize. It's just like, what if they had just put us out? Like, what would we have done?
Is something wrong with the RA? Like, I hope they're not still.
I think
like,
they had to be a
employed.
senior that year, so I know they don't go here anymore.
Because that's wild. Like, as if the white person's invisible, you don't include them in the report, and then like lying for what?
And we weren't even signed in. Like they had to look for our names. Like,
Yeah, because we sign people into the buildings if they're not in our dorms. So I had signed the white guy in, and I didn't give the RA my ID to like write me up or take my name down or anything. So for him to write me up specifically, he had to get it off of the white guy's guest pass and make the conscious choice to not write up the white guy. So
And I don't think we realized how like much we kind of got noticed at PWI, especially like being such a big Black group. Like people kind of took note and would kind of recognize, and sometimes you would feel like, all right, we do have a responsibility to kind of act a bit more tamed or not get caught, because it's like, you know, there goes the Black kids. Like they will, all of us got in trouble. It's like, damn, that's a good portion of us. And suddenly now you have all housing and these people looking at us as if we're going to start causing problems on campus. And I don't know, even like when we're hanging out in like our room, at a certain point, like they would like start closing it down and it wasn't available. And we were like, why is this random room closed that we always hang out in? So it's little things that you don't really pick up on until you kind of mature and be like, wow, they were paying a bit more attention to what we were doing.
yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. That's so, it's as if they were like, they're low-key trying to like target y'all, but like
well,
for nothing, but like just being Black. It's not like you guys did anything, you guys exist, and then they're like, actually, we're gonna find a way to get you in trouble. Like, what?
You want to know the icing on the cake? You want to hear something crazy?
The icing
So our freshman year, two things. Freshman year, someone wrote, I was living with my friend CJ, she's a Black girl, and we were living in our dorm together. And one day, we had a dry erase board on our door, and people would come and like write their numbers or their Instagrams or just like cute little messages or whatever, or draw on it or stuff like that. And one day we come home and it's just N-word hard R on the dry erase board, and it's in between our names. And we're like, what do you even do about that? So like we told the RA, did like the Title IX report, but we lived in the one dorm building where there's not security cameras in the hallways, because it was the one dorm that had like communal bathrooms. So they didn't want to have like a liability of like kids in towels, I guess, or like students in towels. So there's no cameras in those hallways. So they basically like came to our room and told us that there was nothing they could do. And we were just like, wow. Because then it just definitely isolated us. And she ended up moving into a different dorm building, like obviously, but it definitely like on my floor at least isolated me. I didn't talk to anyone on my floor because like they never did an investigation, didn't even knock, hey, did you see anything, to my neighbors or anything like that. So I like completely didn't talk to anyone on my floor. Like I really only talked to these guys.
Wow.
So it
That's
could have been any of them.
What'd you say?
It could have been any of them, and you could have like talked to them and not know.
Exactly. That's why I just made the choice to not talk to anyone on my floor.
wow. That's actually so disgusting. I'm sorry that you went through that. And it just what makes it worse, I think, when you're in white spaces, it's like in like schools and stuff happens, is the fact that like the school doesn't really give a shit about it because they don't like further investigate or look into it. But then in their website, they want to be like, yeah, we're so diverse, we're inclusive. We got like 2% Black people, 1% Latina, Latinx people. We got 3% Asians. Like we're so diverse and stuff like that. And then when shit goes down, they don't really take the
Yeah,
time.
they're not protecting these students that they're like, oh, you should come here, you should come here. It's so this, but then there's no systems in place to honor and respect those students for all of who they are as students.
Wow.
Like it feels like a lot of time they're trying to just meet a diversity quota as
Yeah.
opposed to creating actual diversity.
Yeah. That's real. That's real. And unfortunately, these are still issues that a lot of these institutions have. But I would like to ask, what resources or like ways did what helped y'all get through these struggles of feeling like isolated and not heard? Were there people to turn to or resources to use, or did y'all just turn to each other?
I'd say first, like definitely the Black Student Union. When it came to the community aspect, being able to connect with other Black folks, it was kind of necessary in at Pace. And I feel like that definitely was the main resource I used. I know there are other resources, but that was like my main go-to.
Yeah, definitely that, and the Caribbean and African Student Society or association, and then I know like a lot of us started getting so active with it to the point that became board members and have been working with the program for a couple of years. But I would say now going to my current school, I feel like because my school thinks we're so diverse, they don't have to create spaces for us, or they don't have to like give us those opportunities. So like our African Student Association hasn't really done anything in a while, and of course we live in a pandemic, but I feel like luckily at Pace, it was a PWI that did at least give some, funding and space for Black students to kind of commune. And that happens a lot with bigger cities, but I know it's not that common that Black student unions really do get together the way we did. It was rare.
Yeah, definitely the Black Student Union. And like for me, I just also when like hardships happen, I just want to also do something about it. So me and some other Black students started an NAACP chapter on our campus as well, because we felt like on top of BSU, that sort of level of advocacy that NAACP has and the connection to the national chapter was something that was important to us. But above all, what did I do? I go to therapy, and I think everyone should go to therapy.
I definitely agree. I have my therapy appointment tomorrow. Yeah.
Me too. Wow.
Oh. But wow. Wait, Carla, what are you saying?
I said y'all could have the same therapist. You never know.
Hmm?
Back to back.
Who knows? We'll talk after. But yeah, everything y'all said, the BSU, ASU, CSAs, and the NAACP, those are definitely really great resources. Just getting it. I think the main consensus is just community. Like, don't feel like you have to go through these things alone. Like, find people that you could relate to talk about them with. Find spaces where you could be able to say what you need to say, get the support you need. I literally always tell every Black person about to go to college, please join your BSU, even if it's just joining the group chat, even if it's just going to their introduction event or going to like their party events, whatever. One thing. You don't have to make it like, you don't have to be for the power president of it or anything, but at least just knowing that it's there and like going once in a while could really make a big difference. So like everybody said, that's important and highly recommend. And I think my second to last question is, did you learn more about your Blackness like as you were in college, as you're in these spaces? Was that possible to do in a PWI?
On an individual level, on a very individual introspective level, but that sort of just also can just delve into anyone just figuring out who they are in college. But I think for Black students and Black students existing at PWIs, it's a very particular type of finding out what type of Black person you are, feeling like you have to figure out what type of Black person you are. So it was definitely, I'm gonna say it's still a journey because it's still just a thing of growing and figuring out what you like and what you don't like and that type of stuff.
I agree with Malaika because I've been going to like PWIs most of my life, like from pre-K to now. I just always happen to be at a PWI. Like whether it's public or private, it's still with PWI. So I feel like I am finding my Blackness more in college, but it's not because of Pace University. It's because I'm in New York City and can experience it in different ways and places around, for example, like Brooklyn and things like that. So I just also happen to be in college is what's happening.
I think I've started to notice like the parts of my Blackness that people notice the most, since they don't really kind of like care to go more than the surface level. I'll see like what they bring up first or what they mention. And like going to school for music business, there's a lot of like white guys that really like hip hop and the culture and that sort of stuff. And I'll notice like the way they will like approach me and the difference between them and like a white professor or a random, white girl in the elevator that kind of stands a bit distant. So it's like you kind of realize what your Blackness means to different people at a PWI, but you definitely have to look inwards to figure out what it means to like you specifically.
Yeah, I'd say definitely going off what everybody said. I feel like mainly for me, it's just basically being able to just be comfortable in my Blackness, not really having to say anything around it. Like I'm I'm Black, but I'm also me. I think often growing up, I kind of had this thing of like, where do I belong? Like, cause I did have a few like Black communities within like church, like those type of outlets, but I often got those things of like, oh, am I acting too white? Am I acting too Black? Like, what does it mean for like, how do I navigate my Blackness? And then often when it came to Black Lives Matter, and when something happened in the news, having to speak out or feeling the need to speak out about these things when it came to, because at my school in high school, I would often get comments around just people being too comfortable in saying what they feel they need to say around Black people and just their thoughts. And I would often feel like I had to uh, make a point or try to change their mind. And basically just trying to, it would just, it would mess with my spirit a little bit, you know? Like I was often either angry or tired at my, they call it in grade school. And I've gotten to the point where like, and I think that's valid to be angry and tired, but being able to also just exist, I feel like is essential, where I don't need to speak up every single time. I feel like I've gotten to the point where I don't know where I'm going now. But I've gotten to the point where I kind of can just be Black and have that be who I am and not feel like there has to be some sort of preface before it. I'll say that.
No, that's real. That's real right there. And what everyone said, like, I think that's where everyone wants to be, to just feel like you're comfortable in who you are as a Black person. And that definitely don't feel like that definitely is, there's no time limit to that. And like I think Kwame, you said like it's an inward type of thing. It's not like a school is gonna give you a handbook on like how to be the best Black person you could be, how to understand your Blackness. even if you do a Black Studies class or a minor or major or something, which are cool. That's a cool thing. I've done that. It's really great. You learn a lot. It's really all about what you do with with that information that makes a difference. It's about the community you build. It's about how comfortable you are in your own skin and being able to just exist as a Black. There's no handbook at all. Like I said in the beginning, we're not a monolith. There's no one way. It's really all about how you exist in the world. So I'm glad to hear that y'all been doing that. I love to hear that. I think my last question, we're just wrapping up. Is there any advice you would give? Like if there was a Black senior right sitting here right now about to enter a PWI, like what would you say to them?
You sure you want to go to a PWI? Like,
I was about to say, if you want to drop out, baby, ain't nobody gonna be mad at you.
go to college. College is
Definitely. I was gonna say like take your own path. For Black students, the typical college path wasn't really made for us because we weren't going to college when they made all this up. So like, if you want to take that gap year, change that class, switch your school major, whatever, like do it. Don't feel pressure because you also have to, be the Black person that does it right and gets it done and powers through it so you can graduate. Because I know like on Twitter, it's always a thing like how many schools you got into or graduating at 22 with this and that. And it's like, well, you don't have to add all that extra because you're Black and you don't have anything to make up for it. You get your degree,
Mm-hmm. I agree with that because I'd be on Twitter, I'd be seeing it. I'm like, that's so great for you, but it's not for everybody. That is so great for you, and I love that for you. Not for me though. But y'all be easy, like
Definitely prioritize peace over everything.
mm-hmm.
Take those days off if you need. You don't have to be working 24/7. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just live your life. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, especially if you're like, well, for everyone, but like for my Caribbean background, it's like, if you don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, please don't do it. Like, you're not going to like your life any better. It's you, because I told my mom I was going to school for communication. She looked at me crazy, looked at me, and she was like, can you not talk? What? Girl, what? What? Like, she looked at me and go, you can't talk? You want me to spend money so people can teach you how to talk? And then I told her either I'm doing communications or I'm not going to college. And here I am in college. Give your parents ultimatums. It's either this or that, and I'm getting my way.
Yeah, because as an actor, I get the, oh, what's your backup plan question a lot. And I'd be like, there's not one. Like, this is it. Let people know, like, I'm very, very serious about this. And I think that's maybe a piece of advice. Just be serious about what you want to do and take the major you want to take.
Mm-hmm. You can always switch later. Those first 2 years, it's gen eds.
And you don't have to have an idea in mind. Often, like if you don't know where you're going, just keep doing what feels good to you. Like you don't have to have your whole 20-year plan set up.
Mm-hmm.
If you change your mind, that's perfect.
And if you can, get a Black advisor. Because I know for like a lot of like, especially first gen students where they don't have like parents that went to college or at least recently to like tell them how the system works, you really need someone that understands like how you're going to have to explain it to your people and how it's not been explained to you yet.
No, that's real. Wow, I wish I heard all this as a freshman. So everything they said just now, amazing advice. Y'all should write it down or something. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Those are all my questions. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all really dropped some gems. Like I was even like, whoa, that's such a good point. Wow. Like, so yeah, y'all had amazing contributions to this conversation. And I know there's going to be plenty of Black students out there, especially seniors right now, as y'all waiting for your decisions and all that, that'll really appreciate it. So where can the people support you? Where can the people find you? And if there's anything you're working on, let us know.
Well, I'll start. So my Instagram is ritascott._ on Instagram. I also have my business Compass Apparel Company. It's Compass with the dot after the C, so C.Umpus Apparel. And a portion of the proceeds that go towards the garments go to charities like the Veil Project, the Okra Project, like different charities are dedicated to supporting Black lives.
My name is Malaika. Again, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that at Malaika Tinashe. That is MALAIKA because I already know, so I'm just gonna spell it out. And if you want, I also have a poetry book on Amazon called My Words, My Rules, and it's a collection of poetry that I wrote from the ages of 13 to 17 about Black girlhood, and wow, Carla has the book out, and about relationships and mental health and all of those different things. And you can find it on Amazon, or you can DM me and I'll ship you a signed copy.
So again, my name is Kwame. On all my social medias, Instagram, TikTok, it's KWA_ME. Any young Black creatives in Atlanta or people looking to go to college for like entertainment or music business, it's a very small group of us, and it's a very small path to go down. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me, or if you're looking just to network or find things that are happening in Atlanta, I try to have like a master list of things to do and places to go. So yeah.
And I'm Carla. You can find me on Instagram by Carla Ramirez, CarlaRomeus. And you can pretty much find all my social media by that. I don't really have anything to plug. If you need photos taken, I can take photos-ish. Like, I'm great, creative director, a little bit of everything. Hit me up. I love to hang out. New York.
Thank you.
I wasn't prepped for that. Like, oh, I'm a business owner. Oh, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. I'm just here. I'm here to vibe.
As you should. As you should. That's no problem. Thank y'all so much. I'm so happy that y'all were here and shared all y'all thoughts. Thank y'all. Support these people. They're amazing. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. The culture shout out for today goes to Compass Apparel Company, which is owned by the wonderful Rita Scott, who y'all just heard drop some great gems today in our little panel discussion. So, founded in July 2020, Compass Apparel Co. is an inclusive and premium quality clothing brand that embraces all people and remains environmentally conscious. They are eco-friendly, support the community, and are ethically produced. They sell lots of different items like crew necks, t-shirts, and even tote bags. Y'all, their stuff is so good and so unique. Like, you're not going to find this stuff on Shein. You're not going to find it on Pretty Little Thing or whatever. These are one-of-a-kind products, and I'm obsessed with it. And what makes it even better is that a portion of their profit goes to Black charity organizations like the Okra Project. So your purchase is going to a great cause. So if y'all have been looking for more Black-owned businesses to support or just some new clothes for your wardrobe, check out Compass Apparel Co. today. You can shop through their website at compassapparelco.com or through their Instagram at c.ompassappapparel. If you want a shout out, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at College for the Culture, and you could be featured next time. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you liked what you heard, subscribe to the podcast and give us a 5-star rating and review. We'd really appreciate it if you do. For more content or suggestions on what to talk about next, follow us on IG at College for the Culture. If you want to consult with me about anything college related, email me at collegefortheculture@gmail.com. Take care of yourselves, y'all. God bless y'all. And don't forget that we see y'all and we got y'all. Bye.